Greetings, YouTube and fellow traditionalist Catholics out there. This is Sergio Becerra II here again, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video, and I will be talking about something a little bit more different today. I'm going to be going into some theology. Excuse me. In fact, I want to discuss the 1832 papal encyclical Mirari Vos, published by Pope Gregory XVI. So I'm only going to be discussing one part of the encyclical, and that would be paragraph 14 about liberty of conscience. So, as you know, I'm an American. I live in the United States. We have a constitution and the First Amendment of the Constitution, which is the right to free speech and freedom of the press. Well, I don't mean to sound ignorant about some of the things I've come across. I did not know at the time. I'm still learning about more theology, more about my church and all that, and the papacy. So I wanted to point out here is the paragraph 14 of Gregory XVI's encyclical, Mirari Vos, about liberty of conscience. And that is apparently it is both a sin and error to freely speak your mind, because we don't know what certain people are gonna try to discuss about, and that's one of the main topics here. As you already know, recently in the United States, about a couple of weeks ago, we had the overturn of the Roe versus Wade decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, meaning that the states now have the right to decide whether they keep, restrict, or ban abortion in their states. So what I'm trying to point out here is it should be wrong to freely speak your mind on certain topics, not knowing what could happen. For example, you should not be permitted to set up shop on a street corner and say that both abortion is okay, or talk about other certain topics that may seem immoral, wrong, sinful, and damnable, such as saying that not just saying that abortion seems okay, but also pornography, drug use, by saying that it's okay. No, it is not okay. And that right there should be considered an error. But by saying these kinds of topics are somehow great, and it's not just these kinds of topics that I'm talking about. Just freely speaking your mind should be wrong. So even though I'm an American, and I've never spoken up and expressed my thoughts and opinions on anything, I've always kept silent about it. So I really have no need for my First Amendment rights. And another thing is the freedom of the press. That's another key issue that can lead to sinful heretical error. That is, people could publish books that could attack the divinity of both Christ and the church in general. So that's another thing that needs to come to mind, that to my opinion, there should be a restriction on certain books. But apparently here in America, you can mostly get away with anything by attacking the church, by attacking Christ, and of course laying out other books that could also be deemed wrong, saying that both sodomy and abortion are okay. But here's another thing. Here's another thing. What was it? Monday, I go to my local bookstore, Barnes & Noble, and even though I do love that store, but apparently I've noticed they have an LGBTQ section for young adults that do talk about sodomy by any level, I guess you could say. And it's just so just so horrific what's being laid out. And that should be wrong. And of course, there are books, magazines talking about the Roe versus Wade case. And of course, there's going to be books talk about sodomy and newspaper articles saying that that abortion is okay. No, these are kind of topics that should not be permitted to be out in the open, be allowed to the public. And that to me is an error which Gregory XVI kind of tried to express here, which I believe he is right by all this. So having books about attacking the church in general, by all means, and then talking about it's okay to engage in sodomy, and of course, other things that talk about abortion, that should be out of the way. If you noticed in one of my videos, what I said about what I would do if I were Pope, one of them was to bring back the index of prohibited books. So that'd be one thing I would have done if I were a Pope, which is forbid anybody from reading this kind of material, or have it simply destroyed. So Gregory XVI is right about two things here. It's wrong and sinful about free speech, and it's wrong and sinful about the free press. That's a problem right here in America. And right now we have gone all out of proportion. Here's one thing I just almost forgot about to say this. As an American that has a constitutional right to free speech, but the way things are right now, we have taken free speech so much for granted, it has led to all this. So I have no reason to speak my mind on anything. I will write about my church. I will write about certain philosophies that I have thought of and researched on, and what my theories are. No matter what, it's nothing simple or heretical or anything like that. It's just various topics, what goes into my head, or what comes to mind is what I'm trying to say. And of course, I will write about theology. Of course, I will write about philosophical politics. But still, excuse me. So, I guess it's okay to have an opinion of whatever, but to really speak my mind, I have no need for my free speech rights, really. One more thing. This is another thing I really do sound ignorant of. I've had a hard time trying to realize this until now. Which is, what is it? Religious liberty. That's the thing. Because all my Facebook friends have talked about religious liberty, and it took me a while to realize this. Again, I don't mean to sound ignorant, even though it's taken me a long time to research these matters, whether through online research or YouTube videos. So the thing about what Gregory the 16th is pointing out here, that saying that it's okay for other people to join other religions no matter what they want. And that's the thing about here in America, is that people can just join any religion they want, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Judaism, whether it's Islam, Buddhism, and that should be considered an error, because Catholicism is the one and only true church, the only Christian church founded by Christ. Even Gregory the 16th said in his encyclical that there's one faith, one baptism, one God. That's what he pointed out here, and he's right about it. And even in the Bible, when God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, he said, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." So that right there should be considered an error, and it should be wrong. And of course, I would say also, in my opinion, sinful, that it's okay to join other religions, when in fact there is no salvation outside the Catholic Church. Even if you join Protestant churches or Orthodox churches or non-denominational churches, there's still no salvation outside the church. Only within the Catholic Church there is salvation for one's soul, for one's own soul, which is what I'm trying to say here. So I'm just mostly focusing on paragraph 14 of Mirari Vos by Gregory XVI. Even though I have not purchased a copy of the book itself, of the encyclical, but I have gone online. And of course, I researched some YouTube videos, and I found a two-part series about Pope Gregory XVI's encyclical, which in part 2 he does talk about paragraph 14 about liberty of conscience. That free speech is wrong, freedom of the press is wrong, and religious liberty is wrong. Which is what I want to talk about here. So Pope Gregory XVI is right, because he too was a professor of philosophy, and of course a great Holy Father, both conservative politically and religiously, like me, because I do take matters seriously. Even as a traditionalist, I do take it seriously, by all means. So that's all I want to point out here, which was paragraph 14 of Pope Gregory XVI's Mirari Vos, and about liberty of conscience. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell beside, and tell me what you think in the comments. All right, now that takes care of that for this video. Have a safe and blessed day. Take care now. Bye.